Alright, what's up people? This is SiTHFuRioN. Right now, a teaser, first look trailer thing has dropped for Vikings Valhalla. Man, okay, going into this, all I know so far is, one, it's set like 100 or so years after the events of Vikings. And like, of course, going into this with the way that the first show ended, like I kind of said it in the finale, that it's kind of setting this show up by the fact that the old ways have come to an end. The old age of the Viking era has come to an end, and Christians are slowly starting to spread across the world. And I think that's where this is going to be, is the vast majority of like Norway, Denmark, and Greenland and everything might be just Christians. You know what I mean? They've really spread, and it's the Vikings who are like the minority now that are trying to fight back, probably recapture the old ways. And with it being set like 100 or so years later, I don't think we're going to have like an old character who's going to be like, well, I was there as a child and I saw Ragnar sail off to England. I don't think we're going to have anything like that. But I do think we're going to have like possibly grandchildren, like main characters who are ancestors of the characters that we all know and love. I'm sure we'll have like characters who will say like, oh, my father told me stories as a child of the great Ragnar or Bjorn Ironside, you know what I mean? And if we're going to be having, because I know that like some of this is going to be set in some of the same locations, like Kattegat and that, so I'm sure there'll be somebody that will go and pray to the legend of Bjorn Ironside and be at his grave. You know what I mean? It'll be things like that I'm really kind of, man. It's going to be just so fucking cool. I've not seen anything really as far as cast and who's in it, but I do know that a lot of them, I don't want to use the term unknowns, but they're not really like, they're not trying to like cast for like name recognition, basically, like big well-known Hollywood kind of actors or anything. It's like they've kind of gone a bit more kind of low-key. I'm kind of all for that, you know, with it being a bit more low-key, because it means that it can grow, you know what I mean? It's not starting off up here looking to get bigger, it's starting off down here with only one way to go is up, you know what I mean? So I'm actually all for that, man. Yeah, okay, no more talking, no more waffling on. We're gonna get into this and have a first look at Vikings Valhalla. I'm actually really excited. Okay, let's do this, man.
You captained your boat all the way from Greenland. Who are you?
I'm Leif.
Leif.
Then why are you here?
I want to see if this fight you talk about is mine.
Change is happening, and we must be ready.
The Vikings are still one people. Now is our time to make history.
Okay. Okay, you know we gotta go back and rewatch. Okay, so this new guy, Leif, right? With the fact that like they had to him kind of send the stage at the start, is he like the main lead now?
All the way from Greenland. Who are you?
I'm Leif.
So is he the new, not Ragnar, like, okay, we need to kind of get away from comparing it to the first show. Even though you know it's going to happen, people are going to look at him and say, oh, is he the new Ragnar? It does look like he's got a bit of a Bjorn Ironside beard, as in it's stuck on. He's the only one that's got asked who he was, like he's introducing himself to us. So I'm guessing he's like the main lead now, right?
You captained your boat all the way from Greenland. Who are you?
I'm Leif.
Then why are you here?
It looks like he's arrived at Kattegat. If he's come all the way from Greenland and he's settled in Kattegat, because that honestly looks like the Great Hall in Kattegat, you know what I mean? So And with the way that he's looking around, it might be his first time ever there. So, like, he's probably heard stories of this is where Ragnar or Uber or Bjorn Ironside first came from. Like, if he's from Greenland, wouldn't it be more Uber? Stories of Ragnar is still going to, like, spread. So maybe he's come there thinking this is where the legends of Vikings have come from. You know what I mean?
You're here.
I want to see if this fight you talk about is mine.
Change is happening, and we must be ready.
Okay, so that girl then, I don't know if that dialogue was actually her, but her saying like a change is coming, we have to be ready, and with the scars on her back. So I'm thinking maybe they might try and do the same thing where, like the blonde in like the last season, how she started off as being a slave and rose to power. They might try and do the same thing here where she started off as a slave. Or is that her there?
See if this fight you talk about is mine.
Change is happening.
Yeah, it's the same girl. The same girl. Is she like a love interest for our lead? Is she meant to be the new Lagatha? Or is she like a sister or just a member of his group? You know what I mean? But she's scarred up. So there's a reason why they've showed that as well. That has some type of meaning. Like, my first thought was she was probably a slave, but maybe she's been mistreated, maybe she's been abused, maybe she was branded because it had like a specific marking to it, so maybe she's been branded by somebody. Okay.
Why are you here?
I want to see if this fight you talk about is mine.
Change is happening, and we must be ready.
See, we're really going to pick this apart. And there she is again, like dressed as like a warrior.
The Vikings are still one people. Now is our time to make history.
And it looked like they were English as well there, with the helmets. So of course we are going to be going back to England. So are we going to be having like a united king over all of England, or is it going to be broken up, kind of like there's a king in East Anglia, a king of Wessex, a king of Mercia and stuff, and they're all going to be fighting? But yeah, right. Looks so fucking good though to me. This looks good, man. I'm actually really pumped for this. Like I said at the start, the fact that it's got kind of like lesser known actors, the fact that, you know how everyone felt like Vikings weren't the same without Ragnar, and it really didn't feel the same, but yet over time we got used to these new actors coming in for Ivor and Uber and everyone else. Like, we got used to these younger actors to the point that I feel like they really took a hold of the reins of the show and really led it, you know what I mean? And I think this is going to be the same thing. Like watching this, I get the same type of vibe I got from watching like the trailers for like the last season or like the last 2 seasons of Vikings. You know what I mean? That feeling like it's Vikings but there's no Ragnar. You know what I mean? It's like a different story, different characters. Let's go. And I'm on board for that. I'm really on board with that. I'm glad that there's no like real like mainstream successful Hollywood names like popping up, you know what I mean? Because it gives room for these actors to grow and to become these characters, you know what I mean? It's the same as like I've been saying this for so long with like Batman. Why does Batman always have to be like played by a well-known actor? I mean, like me, if I was going to recast and redo DC, I would literally hire a TV actor or a unknown actor to be Bruce Wayne. He would be Batman. And it might be weird, it might be jarring for a lot of people that this unknown is playing Batman. But I guarantee within 5-10 years, maybe after a couple of good, decent movies, he will be Batman. He will be the definitive Batman. You know what I mean? I don't know why I went off on a bit of a rant then, but I'm saying like it gives time for these actors to become these characters. You know what I mean? They're not coming into it with the baggage of other roles that they've done in the past. People could be commenting like, oh no, he's a famous actor in Denmark, or he's a real big time actor in here, and like, that's fine. But I'm saying from my standpoint, they're all kind of unknowns. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a difference, like with Hollywood, like Hollywood sticking their fingers with Netflix as well. Netflix could have been very like, okay, well, we'll pay for this show, but we want this actor or that actor in it, and you know, help to sell the show by having well-known Western American names popping up. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? I'm just glad that they're not going down that road. It has more of a like a lower key, like, just man. I'm probably waffling on for no fucking reason. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because I've got more filming I want to get done today. And some editing and everything. It genuinely looks good, man. I'm really kind of intrigued to see where this is going to go, where the characters are going to go. I kind of want to go into it a bit blind. So if there's people who's probably like found leaked information or a character like synopsis or whatever, don't get posting it down below, because it'll be kind of spoilers, you know what I mean? I'm kind of waiting until like official teasers or trailers before I actually start absorbing this show. And like I said, with like reactions, because of course I'm going to be doing reactions to this show, I want to go into it blind. I don't want to go into it saying, okay, well, I already know the synopsis, I already know what these characters are, where they're from, because there's no point me reacting to it if I know what's going to fucking happen. And with the way my brain works, I put 2 and 2 together very easily, and I'll probably just be sat here like, well, there's no point me reacting to it, you know. I'll just watch it in bed, you know. I'm really excited for this. Yeah, give this video a thumb up if you like it, comment down below, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already, man. All right, I've been SiTHFuRion, and I'll catch you in the next one, man.